Morning, seventh grade. Happy Tuesday. Filming this on the end of a very long Monday. So let's get right to it. As the PowerPoint pops up, I know the first thing we're talking about is the new 4-day plus plan, as we've nicknamed it. All right. Things to know. Wednesday is now just like any other day. So just as long as any other day, we go to 3:15. I know that's different than what you've done your whole life in American Falls, probably if you've been here. Just remember, with Friday basically kind of off, it is not a longer week. Okay. Some people have thought, oh, no more short day. Darn it. Yeah, that was nice to get out early. But remember, you're not here at all on Friday. And also remember, this is just for the remainder of this school year. There's no guarantee we'll continue with this into the future. All right. Thursday, be aware that you'll also get some food to take home, a non-perishable breakfast and lunch, meaning that it could last till the next day if you want. We encourage everybody to take it. The cafeteria will do a good job of providing those for you. At the end of the day on Thursday, a couple minutes before the bell rings from Flex, I'll send you back to homeroom. We're going to distribute those from homeroom, okay? That should be pretty smooth. Let's talk about Fridays. That's where the plus comes in. So we are hoping that you do some schoolwork, but certainly not a full day. There's no Zooming at all that day. None. Okay. There won't be any Zoom classes. You won't have any elective assignments. You will have some core class extension activities. And what we mean by those are they're things that should enrich and deepen your learning, things that teachers often don't have time for in a regular lesson. We're hoping that we can get into those on Friday. So your teachers are going to talk about those on Thursday. What you're going to be doing. They'll then either post it on Schoology, but they'll also have hard copies of whatever you're doing available. For you people that don't have the internet right now, let your teachers know that you're going to need a hard copy. We hope that these Friday enrichment activities, extension activities can be self-completed or self-directed, meaning that you won't need a whole lot of teacher or parent help. It should just be something that you can do. And we hope that it will take you about 1 to 3 hours, not individual assignments. Okay, so maybe a social studies class assignment takes you 20 minutes, and then you have 40 minutes for math. Okay, just maybe a 20-minute thing for English, and then a science assignment, and you're done. Okay, we want these done by Monday morning to give your family some flexibility. So if they're done first thing Friday morning, great. If they're done Friday at midnight or Saturday or Sunday, whatever. And then if you have more time on Friday and you are in front of your Chromebook and you have the opportunity, please use this time to get caught up. Way too many missing assignments. I worked in a 4-day district for 5 years, and I felt like it could really benefit teachers and students. We could feel a little more refreshed when we come back and make those 4 days that we're here really count. All right. And then if you're struggling a little bit, that's some catch up time. So hopefully, I think this could lead to a boost in grades if you use the 4-day plus plan effectively. I don't know why my picture is so high. I'm going to move that down here. Whoa. All right. Next. Today we started our new try, obviously. Okay, we have switched up a little bit how we want to have those schedules changed. So if you have a green sheet, get that to the office. Ms. Nierbar will be working through those. And I've encouraged you to deny some of those, okay? If you have a schedule request that said, I just liked my schedule last try, things change, okay? Get used to it, write in your agenda. And for electives and flex and stuff, remember, we go through a lot of those during the year. So you're going to have to really convince us that this 6 weeks in whatever class we scheduled you for is going to be, bad for you in some way. If you came to parent-teacher conferences, you know that I gave a handout that explained all these things and also made an announcement about skills this year. Since the pandemic started, I've been worried about skills and watching cases and seeing where they're gone, consulted a lot of people, and it's just not going to happen this year, unfortunately, which I feel very sad face about, because it's been a part of our school for a long time. I know you guys hopefully enjoyed it last year. It's just not safe for staff and students. And as fun as it is, it's also a COVID-19 distancing kind of nightmare, because of being on a bus for a long time, being with different kids that you don't normally see, in a business maybe mixing with kids from different schools. So really what makes it fun makes it kind of a not great idea right now. We are so committed to bringing that back as soon as possible. We really hope next year. I have high hopes for that. But I apologize, but this is a year when we're all trying to get through a pretty challenging time. So speaking of that, if you know that we're canceling skills, you've got to be diligent with your face masks and your distancing at school as best you can. and staying home when you're not feeling great and washing your hands, because we're at kind of a tipping point locally, and we've come down a little bit, but we need to be in school. So this is all part of getting through really a very challenging time, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. But if we do it together, we'll be all right. Okay. So hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the NCAA tournament got canceled this year. So all sorts of good stuff is getting canceled. What's up next? So a couple weeks ago, I guess it was just last week, right? Did we do something different last week? Unit 2, after we talked about mindsets and goals, we started with Unit 2 is recognizing bullying and harassment. All right. So last week we talked about defining those things. And I think it's good to know the difference, but it's really not too different. So bullying is targeted meanness. This is just my own summary of their definition. When a real or perceived power balance is present, power imbalance, excuse me. So if you're older, or there's more of you, or you're physically stronger, or there's a perceived like coolness factor, and they're targeting you because they think that they're above you in some way and trying to make you feel small, that could be bullying. Okay, it should be directed specifically at you, not just an accidental thing. Probably happens over time. Like I told you before, it doesn't happen as much as people say. I do not care for when I walk by and people amongst friends are saying, he's bullying me. I always give you a little heck about that. Okay, but it's a serious thing, but those things need to be present. Harassment is also very common as a form of discrimination, really, because this mistreatment, maybe you're in the same grade, it's a one-on-one thing, no power imbalance, but someone's targeting you because of a characteristic, something about you, that they think it's your gender, your race, your sexual orientation. Okay, so if someone's treating you different because you're a woman, someone's treating you different because of your ethnicity, anything like that, that's closer to harassment. So it's good to know the difference, but they're both wrong. And they're both things that we shouldn't be engaging with. If you're a kind person who cares about others, I hope you are. This is not something we want to do. Okay. This week, we're going to get into something a little more specific. So this whole unit is about harassment and bullying. And I love that they're taking time with dictionaries to make you understand specific terms. So we're going to be talking about today, as I move over to the second step lesson, a certain type of harassment called sexual harassment, and trying to differentiate it between that and flirting. And I've had a lot of times on the playground when people say, so-and-so is bullying me and teasing them, I say, no, they're just flirting with you, because that's really what they're doing. I just hung up on Miss Nybar on that phone. Okay, it's all, if you're smiling, that's a good sign that it's certainly not bullying, but there is a bit more of a fine line between sexual harassment because people may be putting on a fake smile. All right. They have part of this assignment that works better with a worksheet. And if I was physically with you, I would do that. But I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit and look at this slide, I believe. Okay. And just which of these things do you think is more a flirting type behavior, and which one is more of a possibly dangerous sexual harassment type behavior? And don't scream these out loud. I mean, if I was there, I'd be reminding you that these are issues that should be discussed with a little bit of seriousness and respect. Okay, but in your brain, if you can, okay, we're not going to do a worksheet for them. Just think. Okay, so being asked if you want to hold hands or have a hug, harassment or flirting. Just so you know, the key thing there is being asked. Consent and respect for one another is at the core of any good romantic relationship. All right. What about sexual comments that make you feel uncomfortable? Harassment or flirting? Again, make you feel uncomfortable. The intent here, which is a big part of sexual harassment, I just meant it as a joke, doesn't matter. Okay, if that makes that person feel uncomfortable, you're getting into a harassing type behavior. Being sent sexual pictures you didn't ask for. Again, consent, not what you wanted. So receiving a romantic text message that makes you smile. Hopefully it's kind of a good-natured one, not too romantic or sexual, but it makes you smile. So your reaction probably tells us a bit flirtatious. And then being touched in any kind of a sexual way without your consent. Okay, and any kind of a sexual way. And again, it comes back to this uncomfortable feeling. All right. So let's define this a little bit, shall we? Sexual harassment is when someone bothers someone else with words, actions, or pictures of a sexual nature. Let's turn this thing. Maybe we got a picture. Okay. And then, I already turned them on when I was doing stuff before. So let's go here and talk about that for a second. Comes in different forms. Just like communication, you can certainly say something verbally to someone that's sexual harassing in nature, but you can make a hand gesture, you can send a picture. Okay, think about the way that you guys communicate through Snapchat and various things. Okay, and again, it's bothersome to that person. Flirting, on the other hand, is welcome attention that the other person enjoys. And if they don't enjoy it, they're at least like, oh, yeah, he's flirting, but I don't really care. It certainly doesn't make you feel gross or uncomfortable or scared in any way. All right. And there may be some crossover, but if you really know the difference between the person's reaction and knowing if it's okay, they're not that similar. All right. Let's reset this real fast. So I did this before as a practice. Which reaction is caused by sexual harassment? Which by flirting? So something happens and you feel okay or even happy. I'm going to go with flirting on that one. Something happens and you feel unsafe. You don't want to be around that person. You feel comfortable and you can stop the interaction easily. Okay. If somebody may be a bit annoying, that word doesn't necessarily imply harassment, but it's okay. It's comfortable. And if you say something, they certainly stop. Okay. From there, the attention is unwelcome. You don't want that person paying attention to you. And you did not say yes to this behavior. That's what I think. Oh, excuse me. This is more that way. So let's see how we did. Hey, we did it. So this video shows they do a pretty good job acting, but some interactions in it. It looks like a high school hallway, and hopefully it plays pretty smooth. And then we'll talk about it afterwards. Okay? Oh, yeah.
I can't believe he said that. I know. Yeah, that's so gay. Hey, don't say that. It's not cool. Stop it. I can't believe you did that. I hate you.
Guess who?
Okay. Johnny Drake?
Wrong.
Give me a clue. Taller with darker hair. Oh, Jack Pittman?
The one and only Drew Montgomery.
You're such a goof.
But you put up with me, so.
Guess who?
I don't know.
Come on, guess.
I give up.
Oh, come on, just one more try. You got it.
Sarah? A clue. Come on, Kurt, cut it out. It's not funny.
What? It's okay when Drew does it? I mean, what, are you guys like in love or something?
Don't.
Come on, Sarah, we're gonna be late for class.
Oh, that's so cute. They're gonna go make out.
Knock it off, Kirk. I don't want to be touched, and you need to get out of my way.
Sorry, I was just kidding.
Well, it doesn't feel like kidding. Are you coming? Yeah.
It's just a joke.
Okay, not bad. Class discussion. If I was there, I'd discuss this with you. So Mariah and Kirk versus Sarah and Drew. Okay, same sort of behavior with the eye covering and stuff, but Sarah's reaction was pretty evident. Here's some things that I noticed that also made me a little angry. So it was clear to the audience, to us, if you were paying attention, that Sarah was kind of thinking it was fun. Mariah, when Kirk was doing it, it made her instantly uncomfortable. He even like poked at her stomach a little bit, told him that it didn't make it. And that makes me mad and worried. Why is it not more evident to him of how uncomfortable she feels? He's more occupied by himself, I guess, and his thoughts or whatever's going on in his head. And then eventually afterwards, geez, it was just a joke. I was just kidding. It doesn't take that away. Okay, you can't just do whatever you want and say JK on a text, all right? That's still a harassing behavior. I want you to know that, yes, often we think of this as something that a boy might do to a girl, but it can happen in many different forms. But the key is, how does the other person react? And you have to, if you don't have that empathy to their reaction, hey, I worry about you. That's what all human interaction is based on, is empathy and kindness, okay? So hopefully it was clear that even though the hands thing was similar, this was unwanted attention from Kirk, and it's not okay. All right. In your own words, explain the difference between sexual harassment and flirting. Maybe we just talked about that, based on the other person's reaction and consent and level of comfort. All right. And never assume that either. Oh, they think it's a joke, do they? Because sometimes The danger is they smile because they're uncomfortable in case other people are around. That can happen. All right. So to end, I looked at some different quotes. I'm just going to go with the one that we messed with, looked at last week about the power of human relationships. And that goes for romantic ones as well. That you can have a lot of fun, good natured fun, dating and flirting with people in a romantic way at your age, as long as it's something that's meant in good fun. But unfortunately, there is some toxicity in relationships, that sexual trauma, I would say likely, but really is stuff that can last for a lifetime in a very damaging way. And that can happen now, even as seventh graders. Okay. So as you're on the cusp of spending some more time flirting, okay, look at reaction, gauge their reaction. Okay. Some stuff you should know better. You don't even have to look at whether or not they think it's funny, but always be respectful. Okay. And sexual harassment can occur at a young age, and adults are guilty of it. And it's never, ever, ever okay. And it's never, ever a question of, did I deserve it? Was there something I did to bring this on? Harassment is a form of discrimination, which is pretty much saying this person, I'm going to target them because they're whatever. And it's never, ever your fault. And hopefully in this unit, we'll talk more about every role here. The person doing it, the person that may be victimized by it, and then there's a bigger role out there with bystanders. So I hope we get into this unit later on. Thanks for listening today. Thanks for listening to that 4-day spiel. Hopefully it'll be a good change for us. And thanks for your patience with the new schedules. And I hope this is a lot of fun moving forward. And thanks for listening for this important lesson. And hopefully it doesn't take me too long to stop like it always does. I think I just have to click once and be patient. Hey, there you go. All right, guys. Have a good Tuesday. See you.